is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj, read by Soundithavam. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera says a big harvest could be produced from both organic and inorganic fertilizers. State Minister Piyal Nishanta said effective plan is devised to take the fishing community forward with the support of new technology. A big harvest achieved through the cultivation of paddy variety of 44T in the eastern province, including Ampara and the Batticaloa districts. It is reported that a few incidents have occurred in some hospitals due to allergy and after effects. SOC to appoint committee of university scholars to recommend proposals for new economic policy. 4, including a 3-year-old injured after a 3-wheeler topples down a precipice. The government plans to utilize the eastern province's natural resources for renewable energy integration. In news overseas, 41 migrants die in shipwreck off Italy. And in sports, it's cricket. New Zealand in England, Trent Boult returns for ODI series before World Cup. It is reported that a few incidents occurred in some hospitals due to allergy and after effects. The Director General of Health Services has appointed a special committee to look into these incidents where the patients died due to allergy and after effects of some medicines. A few unexpected deaths were reported in some hospitals, including the Peradeniya Hospital. The committee was appointed on the 17th of July. The committee is expected to submit a comprehensive report on the unexpected deaths during the last few weeks. It was decided in the Sectoral Oversight Committee on alleviating the impact of the economic crisis to set up expert committees consisting of university scholars to recommend the tax system to be implemented in the country and the economic policies to be followed, the Parliamentary Communications Department reported. This was decided when the Sectoral Oversight Committee met on the 8th of July 2023 under the chairmanship of MP Gamini Veleboda. It said in a statement, "The Chairman of the University Grants Commission, Vice-Chancellors of the universities, Deans of the Faculties of Economics and Management, Professors, Senior Lecturers, Heads of Non-Government or Higher Education Institutions, Central Bank and Treasury representatives were summoned for the meeting." The chairman of the committee emphasized that despite the preparation of various policy plans in the country, there is still no national policy framework in the financial sector and there is a need to prepare it urgently. He said that this committee is expected to submit suitable proposals to the Parliament to recover from the crisis that the country is currently facing, and in this process, all parties, including the university community, will be brought together, it said. The chairman of the committee pointed out that within 2 weeks, an expert committee will be appointed to investigate the matter extensively and prepare a report regarding it. 4 persons, including a 3-year-old child, were reportedly injured after a 3-wheeler toppled down a 100-foot precipice in Muskelia. Accordingly, the 4 injured persons who are currently receiving treatment at the Dikoya District Base Hospital have been identified as members of the same family, the police stated. They were initially admitted to the Muskelia Divisional Hospital, however, and were later transferred on account of having been critically injured in the accident. The accident took place at 3 a.m. today along the Norton Bridge main road in Hapugastana, Muskelia, after the driver of the 3-wheeler had lost control of the vehicle, according to the police. The Minister of Power and Energy, Kanchana Wijesekara, says that the government plans to utilize the natural resources of the eastern province to develop offshore and onshore wind power, ground-mount solar for renewable energy integration and green hydrogen development. Minister Wijesekara said he has held talks on energy sector development plans for the eastern province with the governor of the province, Senthil Tondaman, recently. In a tweet, the minister mentioned that the governor assured his fullest cooperation to develop the sector with the necessary approvals required and also the land identification. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
State Minister Piyal Nishanta said effective plan is devised to take the fishing community forward with the support of new technology. The government, headed by President Ranil Wickremesinghe, extends fullest support to the fisheries sector to overcome the existing economic crisis. The State Minister made these comments at a media conference held today at the President's Media Centre. The Minister also stressed that it is important to take action against the state officials who do not support the government's development programme. Addressing the media personnel, the State Minister further said the prices of fish products have increased in the recent past due to disturbances encountered because of the climate change. However, the effective measures are taken at present to bring down these prices. A big harvest achieved through the cultivation of paddy variety of 4040 in the Eastern Province, including the Ampara and Pateklo districts. Now the farmers face a daunting task and challenge to sell these paddy stocks. This was revealed during a meeting of the Agriculture Advisory Council held at the parliamentary premises today. The parliamentarians who were present at this occasion also pointed out the difficulties of the farmers in the Eastern Province. This advisory council meeting was held under the chairmanship of Minister Mahinda Amravira. The minister said the Paddy Marketing Board and the private sector have not purchased a paddy of this variety. However, the minister assured that effective measures and arrangements will be made to purchase the paddy stocks from these farmers. That concludes local news.
Elevate your life with People's Bank Excelsior. A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Minister Mahinda Amravira said a big harvest could be produced from both organic and inorganic fertilizers. The minister made these comments at a function to distribute scholarship awards to the school children of low-income families in the Anuradhapura district today. The minister also said everyone should work hard to increase the production of agri-products, and that came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
The health officials warn that several diseases are rapidly spreading among children with the prevailing dry weather conditions in the island. Dr. Deepal Pereira, a specialist doctor at the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital in Colombo, states that conditions such as dehydration are common within children these days. Therefore, Dr. Pereira also recommended that children should be provided with more liquids during these days. Furthermore, the specialist doctor claimed that diseases like diarrhea can also spread widely among children with the prevailing dry weather, and came to you in Watchlight.
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
Moving on to a bulletin of world news making headlines tonight. 41 migrants die in shipwreck off Italy. 9 bodies found after fire at France holiday home. And Ohio vote delivers win for abortion rights supporters. 41 migrants have died in a shipwreck off the Italian island of Lampedusa, survivors told local media. A group of 4 people who survived the disaster told rescuers that they were on a boat that had set off from Sfax in Tunisia and sank on its way to Italy. The 4 survivors, originally from Ivory Coast and Guinea, reached Lampedusa on Wednesday. More than 1,800 people have lost their lives so far this year in the crossing from the North Africa to Europe. 9 bodies have been found and 2 more people are feared dead after a fire at a holiday home hosting people with learning disabilities in France. Nearly 80 firefighters were sent to the blaze in La Forge after emergency services were alerted at 6:30 local time on Wednesday. The missing people are considered potentially deceased, according to a local official. The fire has now been extinguished, but its course is not yet clear. Ohio has rejected a Republican motion to make it harder to change the state's constitution, a move seen as a defeat for anti-abortion groups. The Republican-controlled state legislature had hoped to raise the bar for constitutional amendments to 60% instead of a simple majority. It was largely seen as a move to derail a planned referendum to place abortion rights into the Constitution. President Joe Biden called it a victory for democracy and for women. Back to the headlines of the world news. 41 migrants die in shipwreck off Italy. 9 bodies found after fire at France holiday home. And Ohio vote delivers win for abortion rights supporters. With that, we conclude this bulletin of world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities from Sri Lanka in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Oman, including company housemaid, salary 156,000 rupees, 23 to 57 years. Contact 037 7500 500.
A group of 12 leading Indian investors whose attention has been drawn to starting several projects in Sri Lanka's shipping and aviation sector met the Minister of Ports, Shipping and Aviation, Nimal Siripala de Silva, yesterday for a discussion in this regard. During the discussion, the Indian investors stated that their group is focused on investing in the future development of the ports of Kankesanthuraya and Trincomalee. Commenting on this, the minister said that with the commencement of the passenger cruise services and luxury passenger ship services between Kankesanthuraya and India, the Port Authority has taken steps to provide infrastructure to the Kankesanthuraya port. That came to you in Development News.
Job opportunities for women from Sri Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Company housemaids, caretakers and home cooks in Saudi Arabia for ages 23 to 57 years. Salary starting from 156,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can now travel overseas free of charge. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Mathura. Contact number 037 7500 500. Sri Lanka Foreign Development Agency.
Moving on to sports news, veteran left-arm seamer Trent Boult has been included in New Zealand's squad for their 4 one-day internationals in England in September. Boult, 34, was released from his central contract last August to spend more time with his family and to play in franchise leagues around the world. Quote, "It's great to welcome Trent back into our ODI unit as he begins his preparations towards the World Cup in India," unquote, said head coach Gary Stead. The World Cup starts on the 5th of October. Boult last played an ODI in September 2022 and recently featured in the inaugural season of Major League Cricket in the USA. That came to you in sports news. We take a look at business news next.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
A delegation from CPA, Certified Practicing Accountants Australia, one of the world's largest accounting bodies, met with the chairman of the BOI and top officials for talks to expand its presence in Sri Lanka, the government reform program and the potential investment opportunities and debt restructuring program of the country. Sean Tan, Don Po, NHCO Managing Partner Dinu Kettiarachchi, CPA Australia Global CEO Andrew Hunter, Deborah Lueng and Nicholas Wee participated at the event and came to you in Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news, the Colombo Stock Exchange, in association with the Confederation of the Indian Industry and Stockbroker Firms, will be hosting investor forums in India in Chennai today at the Taj Coromandel Hotel and in Mumbai on August 11th, 2023 at the Taj Lands End Hotel to attract portfolio investments into the Sri Lankan capital market. Invest Sri Lanka is a series of forums organised by the Colombo Stock Exchange in partnership with stockbroker firms to promote foreign portfolio investment into the Sri Lankan stock market by showcasing investment opportunities in leading Sri Lankan listed companies. The investor forums have previously been conducted in key foreign markets, including the UK, USA, Australia, New Zealand, UAE, India, Switzerland, Hong Kong and Singapore. That's economic news, and on to the weather report. The Met Department says that showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in the eastern and Uva provinces and in the Mullaitivu district during the evening or night. A few showers will occur in the western and Sabragama provinces and in the Galle, Matara, Kandy and Nuwara districts. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere over the island. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. Minister Mahinda Amaravira says a big harvest could be produced from both organic and inorganic fertilizers. State Minister Piyal Nishanta said effective plan is devised to take the fishing community forward with the support of new technology. A big harvest is achieved through the cultivation of paddy variety of 44T in the eastern province, including Ampara and the Batiklo districts. It is reported that a few incidents occurred in some hospitals due to allergy and after effects. SOC to appoint committee of university scholars to recommend proposals for new economic policy. 4, including a 3-year-old injured after a 3-wheeler topples down a precipice. The government plans to utilize the eastern province's natural resources for renewable energy integration. 41 migrants die in shipwreck off Italy. Cricket, New Zealand in England. Trent Boult returns for ODI series before the World Cup. With that, we conclude tonight's news broadcast.